Hello and welcome to my weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases from Forge World and Games Workshop. Now, I did try and do this video last night, but I got that standard QuickTime screen recording error that maybe some of you have got before, where it goes to close QuickTime and then it says the video can't be open. So I recorded about half an hour of myself talking to myself, well, to you guys, about all the pre-orders and things, and only to have to have deleted it. So it's really frustrating when that happens. But anyway, so this is my second attempt, and if this doesn't work, I am going to try and record it on my iPad. Fingers crossed for that. The audio might be different than what you're used to. But anyway, we're going to carry on. So, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone that continues to watch all of the content, that likes the videos, leaves comments and subscribes. I do have a Patreon. The Patreon is just there on Support the Channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, and I take screenshots of models and models at events and my own work in progresses and things like that, and other stuff as well, of course. Follow the Instagram there. Or support the channel through Patreon. You know, like $1 a month really does help. It helps fund new releases for armies which I don't have or which I otherwise wouldn't normally collect. And if you don't want to support the channel monetarily, then you can always buy all of your Warhammer goodness or any hobby goodness from Element Games. They ship worldwide, apparently. You get 15 to 25% off. All you have to do is put my affiliate link from the description into your address box, and then that will tell Element Games that I've told you about them. So, Warhammer community website, I went through this all of the last video where it didn't record properly, but I will go through it again now for a few minutes. So essentially I covered all the way up to, I think, the new Knights. There was a new Knight FAQ, which was really awesome. It's great that they gave you this for free. It's basically FAQ for all the new Forge World Knights. I say new, I forget that one. Oh, I'm going to have a look. What is it called? Asterium, is it? Asterius. Asterius, there we go. The one with the massive twin conversion beam cannons and Volkite culverins. I really want one. They're amazing. Anyway, that's really cool that they've got the FAQs there for the Knights, and specifically these new Moirax Knights as well. They look awesome. Yeah, they're pricey, £37 each. A pack of 2 normal Helverins or Armigers, 45. So for £8 more, you can get 2 Knights as opposed to 1. However, we're going to go through these models a little bit later on in the video in the Forge World section, and you do get a lot of resin there to justify that extra £15 or so. You definitely get £15 worth of resin. Anyway, that was some of the news regarding the Knights. They had a look at the kill team, Ever Chosen, new from Black Library, and then some tips for Titanic TIFs. And then there was a big focus on Enforcers, a couple of articles there. Armies on Parade, I suggest you check that out because look at that, that's absolutely stunning. These are fantastic. They take place Saturday the 19th of October. You get an entry on an area no bigger than 2x2, and you can just make it whatever you like. Brilliant. Growing the Games Night, reveals at Gen Con, and this is where I first saw some more of the little models of the Aeronautica Imperialis. It's by the same people that did Adeptus Titanicus, and it looks like it's the same scale, you know, the same sort of scaling that they did for Adeptus Titanicus with the full 40k size models. I'm not sure about the Marauder Bomber to the Lightning though. I think the Marauder Bomber should be bigger, because I think the 40k models are different than that, but it might just be the photo there. And we all know that the bombers and the fighters are very similar size because they're the same size kits. Anyway, that was the Aeronautica Imperialis. There's this Warhammer Underworld's Beastgrave new box set with some fancy new miniatures. I love these red-headed centaurs and things. They're Skaith's Wild Hunt. and then Blood Bowl. You've finally got Lizardman, which is awesome. I love this little chameleon dude. He's the cutest thing, isn't he? Just grabbing the ball there, just fantastic. And then this little chode of a lizard. And then also you get your hands on the other sort of box games there. Then there's a little look at the warp missile rack for the Reaver Titan. There it is. I think it's £11, and fingers crossed it's going to come to the 40k Reaver Titan soon. I'm surprised that it came to this first, but there we go. Maybe now there's more Reaver-sized Adeptus Titanicus Titans than, you know, full-scale ones. I don't know, but that should come out, and I would say that's probably going to be about £60 when it does, for the 40k model. Let's look at the White Dwarf August, a Mega Battle Warhammer 40,000 preview, and then pre-order preview Adeptus Astartes. This was the big new thing that came out last weekend for everyone to look at. It's limited edition, soft touch cover, of course. It's going to be $250. Crazy. And yeah, it's probably going to be replaced within 2 years as well. But, you know, it's there if you want it. You know, it's a collector's edition. There's obviously a lot of people that buy these things. They're always limited and they always get scooped up. Then there's the Codex Space Marines. You've got the Space Marines we've ever compiled, most exhaustive background and bestiary for the Space Marines that we've ever compiled into a single book. Okay, well, if that is the most exhaustive background and bestiary, I'm hoping that it's bigger than the current Space Marine Codex, because that's well over 200 pages, and I hope this one is the same, although I think they are pulling a lot of the content out of there. Notice that there's Primaris on the front cover. They're pulling a lot of content out of there because they're going to be putting them in their supplements. Now the supplements are, I think the Codex will be £25. I actually thought it would be £30, so that's £5 cheaper than I thought. But these supplements will be £17.50 each. And they're actually doing limited edition versions of them as well. I'm pretty sure that the Ultramarines ones will have, you know, Gilliman, he's on the front cover there, and Marnis Calgar, and the new model Tigurius. I don't think they'll be in the main Space Marine Codex. We'll see. You know, otherwise, you know, it's a duplicate, and otherwise why would you get the supplement? Anyway, they're doing the cards for them, and the dice, which look fancy. Here's the Primaris Tigurius. He's had the Primaris treatment, and here's Khan, or Corsaro Khan, and then you get the Lieutenant as well, separately from the Wake the Dead box set. You've got some White Scars Primaris upgrades and transfers, which is brilliant. The more of these that Games Workshop pump out, the better for all of your other Space Marine chapters. So that was the big drop. Again, I'm very sort of apprehensive about them dropping these new Space Marines and Adeptus Astartes before the big Sisters of Battle release, because in a way people that were going to spend Sisters of Battle money on Sisters of Battle may well spend it on some Space Marine stuff now instead. So that's sort of less money on the Sisters of Battle stuff, which so far everything for Sisters of Battle has looked absolutely incredible. Whereas the Space Marine stuff, including this new Dreadnought thing, yeah, it's sort of touch and go. Anyway, you've got some enhanced chapter tactics preview, and there's that new Dreadnought. We're going to have a look at those in a minute. And then there's a rumour engine that literally came out today. Looks like an Aquila that we've just gone through. But there was another one as well. Here we go. So this is more of the preview. So you've got this Invicta tactical war suit with sound dampening materials. It's got a lot of parts there from the Redemptor Dreadnought. God only knows why. You've got the big heavy stubbers on there and a heavy bolter attached to the hip. You know, you've got the centre of... I question this big time, because you've got the centre of mass there, which is always the easiest part to hit on anything, and you've got it being the most vulnerable part. Yes, I know it's power armour in there, you know, and all the rest of it, but it would have made sense just to have that covered with some kind of tactical shield or something. You're making it more and more vulnerable there. What happens if you get a lucky headshot in there or whatever? Yes, this thing's going to be bursting out of cover and things. It's a stealth dreadnought. What is the world coming to? I don't know. But if you do get a headshot or cannon shot in there, the cannon shot, it only has to fit in that gap, and then that Space Marine's just gone. Where if it had some forward plating or something like that, then I could kind of see it. Would the dreadnought be that much heavier if it had that? Not sure. Or louder? The transport looks alright. From a game point of view, yes, people have been wishing to have the transport for their Hellblasters and Intercessors, especially with this new shock assault tactic as well. The Lieutenant is just the Lieutenant, really. I think it looks alright. If my picture thing works for him properly, there we go. But we had a Lieutenant in the Vanguard set. These Eliminators, they look alright. And then these Phobos Marines, I think they just look a bit boring. I just think the Primaris models are even more boring than the Vanguard ones. I don't know what can sort of save them. Then you've got to look at the supplements. This is that shock assault, so Space Marines are getting even more of these little extra rules. Kill Team, a new starter set. I actually preferred the models in the other one with the Gene Stealer Cults and the Mechanicus, and I wish they'd kept them back. Maybe Tau and the Primaris, they want to shift those models a bit more and put them in here. It proved to be incredibly popular. Maybe because it had those two factions in as well as the scenery, and now they've just changed the contents. But anyway, that's all of the news on there on the website. Let's jump on over to Forge World. Okay, so this is Forge World, and as you can see, you've got the power of the warp in brackets missile. If we just go on new and have a look at those new knights first of all, and also Ragnir Gunstein, the squat ammo jack, he's been available for a little while now for £19. Looks really cool. I really like this grenade launcher that he's packing, and his cool little ammo boxes. He's got some kind of mini gun. I don't know. He's got some kind of big wrench there, but the grip looks like they painted it like a minigun, but there we go. Anyway, looks really cool. The detail on the face there is incredible. The highlighting of the ginge is brilliant. So really cool looking model. I'm a big fan of that one. One of the best Necromunda models to come out for a while, in my opinion. Then you've got the two Mechanicum Knights, the two Moirax, which basically like armigers. This one here has the Gyges Siege Claw. Yes, if you want to get two of these Moiraxes with all equipped with those view glare I want to call it, those Volkite view glares, this weapon here. If you want to get two of them armed with two each, then yes, that is going to cost you £148, because you're going to have to buy four, because there's no way you can get these weapons separately at the moment. I think it's a really poor show. Forge World used to bring out the kits with the weapons like this, like a full kit, and all the weapon parts individually. And they do that with their full resin kits, like with the Contemptor Dreadnoughts, and often you find the full kit as well, and you can just mix and match and all the rest of it, and they still do that with the full resin kits. But when plastic is involved at all, like these armigers, then they tend to just have the whole kit as one. There's nothing stopping them. As part of the process, they could separate the weapons and sell those weapons separately on this web store. I can't see any issues there. But for some reason, because it's got plastic, they're bundling it into one. Anyway, I think they both look really cool, and I would love to add these to my collection. I've got 4 sort of Armiger class knights anyway. I'd love to get another 2 normal Armigers and maybe 2 of these, so have like 8 or so of them running around. That would be pretty cool. Then you've got the other one with the lightning locks as well. All the weapons are pretty decent, and it's good of Forge World to have their rules here. Yes, they're the Horus Heresy rules. However, in that night FAQ that I showed you just a little while ago, they've got the 40k rules there as well for them, and they do a very good job. These lightning locks look awesome. You get both of the heads with both of the kits, by the way, but I just prefer this sort of knightly house kit. I do like the cog shoulder pauldrons in the same aesthetic as their other Mechanicum knights. I think that's a really good attention to detail, likewise with the armour plates as well. Anyway, they were the two new little Armiger knights that I haven't really talked about before. If we go to pre-orders, it is just that missile. So you've got a Carapace warp missile rack, £11. Hopefully that's going to come out for the big 40k size model as well, and I'm thinking it's going to be like £60 or so. So it's essentially a delete button that you can use against your opponent, because that will be a very large blast, and anything that's caught in that will suffer complete catastrophic damage. It'll be removed off the battlefield. You won't get any invulnerable saves or anything. So yeah, but I think it'll be one use, but it'll be a silly range like 480 inches or something crazy like that. Anyway, that's everything on the Forge World up, that was new and that was up for pre-order. Hop on over to Games Workshop and have a look at all of these pre-orders. Now, there was a big feature over the past few weeks of Warcry, this Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Fantastic looking scenery, I tell you right now. I'm a huge fan. If I was in Age of Sigmar, I'd be all over this like a rash. If we go to new and exclusive and we hit pre-orders and new releases, because it's been a while, if we just view all, yes, we've got 9 pages, but we've got 99 results here. Now, I did do a little bit of a video when I came back about the Chaos Knights. I think that they look incredible. You only get one kit, which is what I kind of thought. So one kit, the cards and the codex. I think the codex is very thin, especially for £25. It's not up there with any of the other codexes like the Death Guard or the Tyranids or the Mechanicum actually codex. It's very lacking. I think you've got like 5 data sheets or so. There are huge gaps. These Chaos Knights, I'm sure they'll prove to be quite popular, and what we might get is a repeat of the last Imperial Knights from 2014, whereby within a year they brought out a brand new codex and another knight kit, and then only last year they brought out a final knight kit which included all of the knight variants in there. So maybe we'll get that, maybe we'll get a bit of a revision or support for that, but at the moment I'm not really going anywhere near it. I think the codex is too expensive for what you're getting. It's a classic case of, well, all the other codexes are this price, so we'll price it for the same. I don't think that's... I don't agree with that personally, but I do think both of the Chaos Knights do look incredible. Well, the kit looks incredible, especially with these backwards jointed legs as well. I'm hoping that you can just modify that and have it as a normal knight with those legs. We'll see if and when I get a kit. You've got this traitor command that came out a little while ago, because it's got the Chaos Ogrin and the Chaos Commissar for £132.50. So I think it just has the Blackstone Fortress set and then that Chaos Command set. You've got Warcry, the Iron Promise collection, £118. Looks incredible. Got all that lovely scenery with multi-layers and everything. And then you've got your 2 factions in there. Yeah, they look really cool. You've got the starter set, £100. Host of the Everqueen, that is no longer available. But then you've got the Knights that I did a video of. You've got Wildwood of Gyron. You've got Start Collecting, Primaris Space Wolves collection. I'm not sure why you'd get that, because I'm pretty sure that the supplement will come out for Space Wolves, and they did do a big FAQ as soon as the codex came out, unfortunately. But the Thousand Suns Start Collecting set is pretty good. The Home Field Advantage is sold out, but you've got the Palanite Enforcers and the Book of Judgment collection, £73.50. That looks pretty good. You've got the dice and the box set of them and a book. But let's face it, guys, that's 3/4 of the way to £100 for 10 miniatures, 8 dice, some cards and a book. That's astronomical at the moment. Moving on, you got the start collecting sets. They were £50, they're now £60, so £10 more. Quite a big price bump. You're still saving just what's this start collecting set include? It has the battle leader. That's normally a £20 model. Aggressors, I think they're 35, so that's 55. And intercessors, you actually get 10 of those, which again is 35. So that's about £90 or so. So you're still saving 30 quid. So you're getting the battle leader and a few of those intercessors, you know, for your money. But that's worth it if you haven't got them. And I think you get the upgrade sprue as well. Yeah, you get 2 upgrade sprues. I think they're like £5 each or so. So yeah, your mileage may vary with those. You get a Ravaged Land Shattered Storm Vault. Looks very good, very decent looking scenery. And then you get a Corpse Rack Mausoleum. You also get a Battle Tome Sylvaneth Limited Edition, £50. Necromunda Judgment, Intrigue and Racket Collection, £44 for the book and the cards. Gandalf the Grey. I think some of these Lord of the Rings models are sort of web store exclusive now. You get some Adeptus Titanicus Legion collection. The Loyalist one is sold out, but that's the Traitor Command, £37.50 for 2 models and a load of cards. The Warcry Conquerors collection for cards and a book, £37. Lehman Russ Battle Tank, for some reason, is there. Athalorn of Avengers collection, so Blood Bowl team. Cypher Lords, Adeptus Titanicus Castus Knights Porphyrion, so you get 2 of those bad boys there. And for £30, you can't change the weapons though. The weapons that they've got, the weapons that they come with, and it looks to me like it is, I think that's 2 sprues, so it's £15 a sprue there, I would say. It sucks that you don't get any different weapon options there. However, you get Ironstorm missile pods or Carachnus mortar batteries. So yeah, you've got the bigger missiles though, and then you've got the smaller ones. There you go. And then you get these sets, which are £30 each. They look alright. You get some cards as well. This is for Warcry. So these ones have from the Great Jungles of Invidia. Once worship the god beast Nagendra. Then you've got these. Then you've got these, Corvus Cabal. They look pretty cool. Masters of Ambush and Assassination. Warriors of the Cabal. And then you've got the Unmade. These look very freaky, especially this guy on like stilt type things with a weird looking skull face. Very strange models. Book of Judgment is £28 for itself. That's quite expensive. Doesn't say how many pages there though. That's a shame. And then you've got the Enforcer Patrol, £26 now for 10. And then you've got pictures, and you've got the new Battle Tome, Sylvaneth, the Chaos Knights Codex, which I've already talked about, £25, and so on. Some digital editions. The Spirit Seer is available for £17.50. I think someone told me it's still not come out yet, and then a week later it came out, and now the Lieutenant from Wake the Dead set is also coming out as well. So it just goes to show you that more often than not, Games Workshop will release the individual miniatures that come in these big box sets. You might have to wait almost a year for them, but typically they do release them individually, which I think is great. However, I'm nowhere near finished painting mine or even started painting mine, so probably it's a good thing that I should wait for these kind of individual miniatures myself. You get the Intrigues and Rackets card pack for £16, more packs of cards, Traitor Legions cards, the dice which are separate, Conrad Kurz, you can get that hardback for £12.99 now though. You get Chaos Knights transfer sheet, that might come in handy. Some more dice for the Enforcers, so it's typically £10 or £9 for a pack of dice. And the White Dwarf July, Burden of Loyalty, now available for paperback, £7.99, that's pretty decent. And so on. So I've gone through about 99, almost 99 items there. Sorry that this video has taken so long. I am going to be available to do the news and pre-order video this coming Saturday with all of the new Space Marine Primaris things on there. I don't really know which things I'll pre-order. I think the first wave will just have the codex, might have those supplements, the cards, Tigurius, Khan, and the Lieutenant, and then I think next week we might have a plethora of new models, or we might just have one a week, and I'd much prefer one a week, of course. But still, let's find out. Let's see what they do. Price-wise, I think prices have been announced for the codex and things, but not necessarily for the vehicles. I'm thinking that the new transport, if we just go back to here, because it's probably a bit easier to go through this. Right here, I think that Walker, this warsuit, Space Marine in a warsuit. Anyway, I think this warsuit will be £40 minimum. I don't think that's going to be 35. It's supposed Games Workshop might surprise me though, but it's either going to be 40 or 45. The Redemptor is what, 45, I think. So that's that. The transport, I think, is going to be £40 minimum. If they can push that out for 35, then that's fantastic. But 40 to 45, considering that the Mechanicus transport is 45. I say it's the same price as the Land Raider. It's not really. It's a little bit less because the Land Raider in the recent price upgrading is now £50 for the same Land Raider that came out when I was a teenager 20 years ago now. 20 years ago when I got into the hobby, Land Raiders were out. These individual miniatures, I'm saying that these 3 guys probably be 25. I doubt they'll be 30. I think these 5 will be your typical 20 or 25 pounds there. And then your character, I think he will be £22.50, maybe 25, we'll see, but probably 20 or £22.50. So that's just my price reflections. We know that Tigurius is definitely $40 now. And I think Khan is the same. It might be 35. But anyway, that is sort of the pricing side of things. Thank you ever so much for your patience for me getting this video out to you. Can't thank you enough. I've had some technical issues with the computer and things, so thanks again. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.